This is a collection of stories.
Landover Legend Studios presents
I've been through a lot.
the I Can't Make This Up podcast.
Yeah.
By Big T.
It's a little treat for y'all. Fresh off the box, stop, look and watch, grab your Nikons. Here come the Dodge City icon. Orderly Python, watch your step. I'm low key, but I know a few niggas who be ready to wreck. I'm on your neck like Internal Revenue Service. My mission is simple, make it so you never resurface. Money and Mike's my purpose. Nothing in this world is perfect. To God, took a second look and say he's pretty close. Take a toast.
I see. I've been
Yeah,
peeping.
man.
I've been peeping the talent, man. I see that you did a performance last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, you know what? My last performance, I guess, in terms of being on the quote unquote real stage, was I hadn't performed since October of last year. Um, I got a friend of mine, shout out my man Ken Brass, and Sound Off Sundays out in Detroit, off of what was that? 7 mile, 8 mile road out that way. Um, I did a joint with them. He's actually the promoter of that event. The night before that, I was at Bankroll Studios for their open mic thing, which was it was surreal because Bankrolls years and years ago used to be the hip hop shop, and the hip hop shop was where guys like Eminem and Proof, all of those guys, they used to go in there and battle and all of that. And it was crazy. Like when you walk in, on the right hand side, like on the back wall, is a mural of Proof on the wall. And so when I saw that, I was like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? It felt like I kind of made it, you know what I'm saying? It was just an honor to, to be in that area, you know what I'm saying, experiencing that culture and all of that. Just to be in that same building was a whole nother experience in and of itself. Because I'm like, damn, like, M was out here getting it in this same building and shit. You know what I'm saying? Before he got on, so that was cool. But yeah, I'm sorry that I'm rambling. I'm on a tangent, but yeah, to sum it all up, yeah, that was my last performance.
Okay, that's no problem, bro. MJ Olden, welcome to the I Can't Make This Up podcast.
Pleasure to be here, man.
So, why don't you introduce yourself to my audience?
All right, well, once again, I go by the name of MJ Olden, aka the Mad Scientist, aka the Don Mateo. A couple other little aliases, little shit like that. But at the core of it, I'm just a young man, you know what I'm saying, with a dream and a passion, you know what I'm saying, decided to use my talent to try to make that happen.
Okay, so how long you been rapping?
Uh you mean rapping good or just rapping period?
Rapping period.
Now, I've been doing this since I was about 13. Um, I mean, music is always, something that's been, part of my life, part of my household. But it wasn't nothing that I really like tried my hand in until I was a teenager.
Okay, so you said rapping good or just rapping. So when do you when do you feel as though you got good?
When I got good when I was about maybe 15, yeah, about 15, yeah, about 15.
Okay,
It was I went from writing like little middle school raps or whatever, and then when I started trying to explore with lyricism and rhyme schemes and stuff like that, that's where I and then of course as you get older, your pen gets a little sharper. You know what I'm saying? You you start exploring and experimenting, different kind of ways.
Okay, so you was in middle school slash high school, and you started, writing or whatever. Was you doing like talent shows or anything like that?
Nah, not really, no. Not that I didn't want to. I did finally do one my senior year, and I lost because I was the only rapper in the talent show, so there was nothing to really judge me off.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. You know what I'm saying? It is a talent show, whether your talent was magic or
Yeah,
backflipping into a cup. You know what I'm saying? It's all about
right.
how you come across and how you perform, because that's what they're gonna be judging you on. So
Yeah.
if you saying that it wasn't you was the only musical act, that's one thing. But
Okay. Yeah.
I've
But
seen people, win talent shows when everybody else was doing like, dance performance, and then they came out there and did like a fire, poetry reading or something like that.
right. Right. Hey, all I could tell you is I lost. It is what it is. But that was one of those things. I guess subconsciously it made me, go a little bit harder. Um,
Mhm.
so around that time was when I really started like sharpening my pen game or what have you. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing.
Okay, so you say you performed in a talent show your senior year. So you get out of high school. Where do you go from there? Like, when did you really start taking rap seriously?
Um, I've always taken rap serious. Um, I've always taken rap and my production very seriously. And I took a little bit of time off. Was working part time or what have you. And I decided I was going to enroll in the Art Institute. So once I got there and got exposed to all different kinds of, all other producers and songwriters and singers and rappers and what have you. So being in that environment, um, it taught me that is more to it. You know what I'm saying? Than just putting, especially with my production, it's a lot more to it than just putting a drum track down and some keyboards or what have you. It's a lot of the technical stuff and the mastering and the EQing and all of that. So that was honestly one of the best experiences of my life. Because if I hadn't gone to Art Institute, I probably wouldn't be anywhere near the artist that I am now. Because back then I kind of was, I guess you could say I was a little cocky, or what I'm saying, couldn't nobody really tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I just knew, what I was doing was, I was doing the right thing or what have you. And it was like, nah, like, let me show you how to do this. You know what I'm saying? Put the pressure right here, put the compressor right here, put the EQ here, quantize that. And I didn't know what the hell they was talking about when they was telling me all this. So, that was one of the best experiences of my life personally.
Okay, so what was the name of the art institute you went to?
Well, it was the Art Institute,
Oh,
Art Institute of Washington, out Roswell Station.
okay, okay. I know what you're talking about. And how long was that course?
3 semesters. I actually went there to show you how cocky I was. I went there to study film.
Mm.
So I was like, well, I already got the music shit down. So, you know, it was one of them type of things. So, and then like I said, once I started surrounding myself with other people who were actually there studying music and was doing the knowledge and all of that, that's when I was like, okay, hold up, let me take a step back. Took me a while to get it, but once I got to that point, I was like, okay, I figured it out now. So
Okay, well, that's what's up. Not a lot of people even, take it that far. Some people have natural talent, but don't really have, the technical guidance they would need to perfect it, and that's why they go to labels or they
Hmm.
go to somebody else and try to get like as much game as possible or tips, tricks of the trade, things of that
Right.
to sharpen their whole skill set in order to be the next Lil Wayne or whatever whatever they try to ascertain as far as goals.
Definitely. And that was, I mean, that was pretty much the position I was in. Like I said, in my mind, I knew everything already. Um, until I, until I listened to my shit, and then I'm listening to my homeboy shit, and it's like, okay, why my shit sound like his? It sounds good, in terms of theory and aesthetic, but the technical side of it, was lacking.
So
And
you mean as far as sound quality, yours wasn't
yeah,
matching up to the next person?
yeah, basically.
Okay, so basically they help when you went to the art institute to help you figure out a way to tinker with your sound and make sure that yours is coming
Hmm.
out crisp and it's
Hmm.
matching those radio hits that you hear every day.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's what's up. So basically, like any of artists, you spending a lot of time fine tuning your projects, and it ain't nothing that you don't want to rush anything and put anything out half assed. You want to make sure that whatever you
Absolutely,
put out sounds good to the to the best of your ability.
absolutely.
Okay, so who are some of your musical inspirations?
Man, we could go all day, man. Um, I mean, for at the root of it, what I'm saying, I grew up, basically like the typical black household, what I'm saying, gospel, R&B. Um, I remember being influenced by hip hop even at like 2, 3 years old, what I'm saying, seeing like the hypnotized video and, some of the, Tupac Hail Mary, what I'm saying, Mace and all of them, when Bad Boy was like really blowing up, what I'm saying, a little bit of Jay-Z. Like my mother had like all the Jay-Z albums, what I'm saying. But yeah, I grew up, like in terms of my influences. So I mean, if I could name names, Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond on the gospel side,
Hmm.
um, on the R&B side, Jodeci was like a big thing for me. To this day, I love Jodeci. I could sing damn near every lyric to every song or every album. Um, Prince, another huge influence. You know what I'm saying? Because Prince gave me I would watch him not only for musicianship but his stage presence. You know what I'm saying? For a man who was 5'2" barefoot, you know what I'm saying? He had the biggest stage presence I had ever seen. You know what I'm saying? And could play the guitar 1 minute, put the guitar down, break out into a dance, and then went over to the piano, and you know what I'm saying? Little shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was always cool to me. On the rap side, like I said, Biggie, Pop, Hove, Nas, Old Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Those guys really kind of help cultivate the way I write and the way I try to come across on record.
You said old Kendrick?
Now I said Hove, Jay-Z.
Oh, I thought you said
Yeah.
old Kendrick, like Kendrick Lamar.
Oh no, no, no. Hey, listen, man. Look, Kendrick, man. Kendrick is gonna be Kendrick 24/7, 365, as far as I'm concerned, man. I remember, man, when Pimp a Butterfly came out, and that was like one of the like a kind of low point in my life, and that album got me through a lot, man. So Kendrick is sentimental to me.
Okay. So, what about down south rappers? I didn't really hear you mention anybody from down there.
It's funny because it took me a while to kind of come around to it, but I like Outkast. I mean, out of all of them, I like Outkast probably the
Okay.
most. I like a little bit of UGK. Um, kind of started getting in. You know what? I got into Scarface a little bit. when I was in my freshman year in high school. I had a friend who like made all these mixtapes for me or whatever. So he had like Scarface, Evan the Dude, those type of guys. But I've always been more influenced by like East Coast, New York rappers.
Okay. Okay. How old are you?
27.
Okay, that makes sense. No offense, but I could judge a age range by they certain genres that they connect to or they adapt to or what they
Yeah.
adhere to. So I can understand. Like for me, Outkast is if not the best duo,
Oh,
top rap
easily,
duo, in
easily,
rap. Period. So
easily.
it is what it is. If you got a problem with it out there, at
Oh
me.
no, oh no, hey, I fuck with Outkast hard. I fuck with Outkast hard.
Okay.
I probably can't, I probably can't recite like every lyric, but you know what I'm saying. I do like Outkast. Probably like I said, as far as like Southern artists or whatever, that's like number one to me.
Okay. Well, it's a lot of artists in the DMV.
Definitely.
Anybody in particular that you like?
Artists in the DMV, you're probably gonna laugh. I like Wale.
Hmm.
Um, who else? Gold Link, he had that joint with Shy Glizzy and Brent Fayez. I like that one.
Hmm.
Um, off the top of my, I mean, I was, I mean, if I can name some of my homies or whatever, that's one.
Yeah. Go ahead and name them.
Oh yeah, shout out my nigga Maul, S&C Marley, uh, my man Billy Bob, Louis, my little brother. Um, guys like that. Only One Bay, my man. You know what I'm saying? Hippie Weirdo. You know what I'm saying? My guys. Santino, my man, my nigga Santino. This Santino will fuck you up. If you like Southern rappers, you
Hmm.
gonna fuck with Santino because Santino got that like that no limit cash money vibe. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
if you into that shit, you'll fuck with Santino.
So when you say that, he has like that type of style when he raps.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. He got a joint, one of my favorite songs, 1999 Driver, which he kind of ripped from Juvenile verse on Bling Bling.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he said, I'm a 1999 driver. I'm a Southside DC rider. So when I heard that shit, I was like, oh, this is crazy. Then when I went back and heard the Juvenile joint, I was like, okay, it makes sense now. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So when you listen to him, that vibe and that energy is definitely there.
I've been seeing the rise of more DC artists getting more popular and popular. I see that there's a lot of growth when it comes to the talent and skill and the recognition that they deserve.
Mhm.
What's the young lady name? Rico Nasty.
Yeah,
She I forget what magazine she was just in, but I know she just got an award, and she's getting highlighted. People like talent period out the DMV. People like Kevin Durant
yeah,
and
definitely.
Dave Chappelle, Taraji P Henson.
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like all these people, you know, they not that they haven't been getting their recognition, but they now the DMV is being highlighted for these people. A lot of people assume like Martin was from like Chicago or Detroit or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Whole
Martin
time,
from Landover.
yeah, exactly.
Martin from Landover. Taraji. Taraji went to what school was that?
I want to say she was from Southern Maryland, but she went to the school out the city, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she went to I know she went to school out PG, out this way somewhere. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. It is gonna come to me when I ain't thinking about it no more. I want to say Regina Hall as well from out here.
Big
Um,
Tigger. He went to
Tick.
Duval, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Right. So yeah, it's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I see DC, you know what I'm saying? The whole DMV really is, you know what I'm saying? It's about to be the next big thing, man.
Well, since you in the game, and I know that you stay on social media and just not alone just that, but you're gonna keep up with the culture. Why is there such a disconnect when it comes to artists working together or not recognizing somebody else's talent?
Man, at the root of it, honestly, I feel like it's a crab in the barrel mentality.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If if this man is moving on to bigger and better, and I'm still down here, you know what I'm saying? The feeling of why am I not at this position, or why am I not, you know what I'm saying? Why am I not being given the same opportunities starts to creep into that individual's mind and and their spirit, so their natural inclination, depending on the person that you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, that jealousy starts to take over them, and they feel as though they got to tear somebody down as opposed to celebrating with them or being happy for them. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's one of those things where, like, I guess to a degree or another, you would have to ask that individual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could speak for myself and say it's probably more so like I look for a certain type of quality and a certain type of sound when it comes to working with other artists. So if I feel as though me and that person just don't mesh, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing personal towards them, but it's just not, what I'm looking for. Or, nine times out of I mean, it's nothing to just try to create or tailor that sound to, whoever that individual is.
Okay, so when you work with other artists, is it a writing project or is it something you producing or is it something like you getting them on one of your tracks as a feature?
It's a little bit of me producing for other artists, a little bit of me featuring, with other artists or what have you. A lot of times I know, with me, like, I make a beat, you know what I'm saying? Um, I have a verse for it, and I call up so and so and such and such, hey, jump on this joint with me, and that's how that comes about. Or somebody hit me up and say, hey, I need a hook, or hey, I need a verse, or can you make a beat for me, or something along those lines. And, that's how that happens.
Oh, okay. You ever heard of Crank Lucas?
Yeah, funny dude, man. I fuck with Crank Lucas, man.
Okay, what you think about his flow? His album that he dropped last year, that joint was fire.
That's man. I gotta listen to that then. Yeah, I've been seeing. I fucked with him from like the YouTube shit. You know what I'm saying? When he
Mm.
do like the decade raps.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like he do like the '80s and the '90s and then early 2000s and then like the current shit. So that's how I got hip to Crank Lucas. Or like me, the little comedy, like little spoof shit. You know what I'm saying? I know he could spit though. I know for a fact he could spit. I just haven't gotten around to listening to an entire project.
Oh yeah, and his talent is one that can't be denied. Like once I started paying attention to what he was saying about him making his own beats and then him selling them, and then when he announced that his album was dropping, I was like, okay, I want to
Hmm.
see him. What I'm saying, do something that's just music based and not for, not necessarily that his skits or his videos aren't just for entertainment, but just him music wise because his pen game mean, you know what I'm saying? And
Definitely,
he's real versatile when it comes to switching on flows and everything.
definitely.
Like, I would love to have him on the show, but that's neither here nor there. He doing big things. He
Yeah.
out here. I know he did a video with a couple of them dudes out in LA, Miss Sade, Big John, and somebody else, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But the DMV got talent, man. The DMV
Definitely,
it
man.
got a lot of talent, but it's always a disconnect when people feel as though you hear, an artist say that they got to leave the DMV to grow and to get better, and then a lot of people say that, you know, you don't have to leave the DMV to get to that point the way you reach stardom or nothing like that, which is necessarily true, but the thing that people fail to realize is that it's different strokes for different folks. What
Right.
works for one person ain't gonna work for the next. So when you take ego and emotion out of it, you gotta look at the facts. You know what I'm saying? What's gonna get you to the point that you would where you want to be? Is it staying here and keep trying, or jumping on an opportunity that could get you there faster than you know another 5 or 10 years back home?
And I try to look at it as, you always want to, broaden your horizon. You know what I'm saying? You always want to broaden your audience. So, I love DC. I love it to death. You know what I'm saying? We doing big things out here. I'm happy to see the growth and the, you know, progress. But, I look at it as I gotta see what work. Okay, so put it like this. I'm a big wrestling fan. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, in the old, territorial days, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, certain certain wrestlers or certain, I guess, gimmicks or what have, what might work in St. Louis won't work in Tennessee. What
Okay.
worked in Tennessee might not work in Georgia. So it's a matter of trying to, it's more or less trying to see like what the audience reacts to.
Okay. So basically, what you're saying is, different markets respond to,
Hmm.
different things.
Right.
So, essentially, what you want to do, at least from my perspective, I'm not a musical artist. You can be the biggest fish in the pond that you stay in,
Hmm.
but what I'm saying, you want your talent to transcend that. So you don't just want to entertain people around you. You want to be able to entertain people on a national level or
Definitely.
international level.
Definitely.
So maybe that's what they're doing when they decide to leave, because you can strengthen your pen almost
Yeah,
anywhere, but if you only exposed to what you know, then you can't grow as a person and an artist.
definitely. And then at the same time, yeah, sometimes it is harder to break out your own city. It's a lot of artists, you know what I'm saying, who are major, national and international stars now, but could barely chart in their hometown.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of all of that. It's a combination of all of those things.
So let me ask you this: if you ever got to that point to where you made it big and you got national recognition for your talent, right?
Hmm.
Would you try to go back and try to achieve that same thing home, because everybody else can, what I'm saying, can fuck with you basically, but still back home, they treat you like you anybody else on the street. So would that be something you would do, or you wouldn't really pay it no mind, because essentially you reached the goal of what you try to do?
Hmm. A good question. Um, I mean, again, I love my city. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as long as the quality of my music is A1, you know what I'm saying? Like people are gonna fuck with you or not fuck with you however way they want to. But I know that I have the talent and the skill to be a top tier, top notch artist. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you either do or you don't. It's kind of hard to answer that question, to be honest with you. I never really, what I'm saying, I never really put no thought into that, up until now. But again, I love my city. You know what I'm saying? I'm always, I'm always carrying on my back. You know, I I hope they do like me. You know,
Yeah, DMV representing all day. I feel
no
you.
doubt, no doubt.
So, I mean, if I was in that position, I don't really know if I would, me personally.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, everyone has their own goal that they're trying to ascertain. Like for me, in my experience, it's been a year since I started my show.
Hmm.
And most of my supporters are people I never even met. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, I got people that listen to me that's, in London and Ireland and Israel, Australia, South America. I'm not don't think I'm in Africa yet, but it's and then the majority's here in the US, which is
Yeah.
great, but
But
I
you
got
want that bigger market.
well, not just that, I would hope that, the people that's around me, 90% of the time would do the
Definitely.
same. But, out of that, it's a handful of people that actually, listen and support.
Right, right,
And, I didn't think it would be that way, but that's what life is essentially.
right.
So I don't ask for support of people who should do it automatically. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So uh I'm gonna keep going regardless to how, someone else's feel or their lack of, care when it comes to something that I feel passionate about because
Right.
I can't let that deter me. And I would tell that to anybody else, I see people that, started whatever they had their passion behind, whether it be music, comedy, or whatever, prior to you know, uh, the pandemic of last year. And
Hmm.
then when things dried up, they didn't know how to pivot. They didn't have no support. Everybody was just, scrambling, trying to, put the pieces together. And then they gave up. Or it was, people that had supporters and then people, stopped supporting them like they used to. And then they just said, I can't get no help or I can't get no support. I
Right.
quit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can have the game. You know what I'm saying? So when I see stuff like that, it's like, okay, I could, I could look at that and be like, well, if he feels that way, maybe I should do the same thing, but I'm not.
Right.
Regardless to what my episodes do or whatever I put out do, what I'm saying does as far as the response, I'm going to continue because I got a goal in mind. I got a dream that I want to make come, bring into reality. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's all about consistency, regardless to what anybody else have. If I believe in it, it doesn't matter about the next person.
Right. And I mean, that's how you should, that's how you should carry. You know what I'm saying? I know I've personally had those feelings of like, what I'm saying, maybe they don't fuck with me as hard as I thought they did. Like a month ago today, I dropped my second album, and upon the release, it was like, okay, like, hey, I know they fuck with it, but I ain't feel as though they fuck with it as hard as the first album,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to I had to not I had to not overthink it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, at the when I dropped the first album, I had the benefit of a live audience as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So again, like you said, when once the pandemic hit and shit got shut down, it's like, okay, no more shows. Not to say that I didn't know how to, pivot or whatever the case may be, because I just said, okay, well, I'm gonna just keep dropping music. You know what I'm saying? if they fuck with me then they should fuck with me now. And like I said, I went through a phase where I was like, maybe I didn't go as hard as I did the first time around. And me and my brother had a conversation. He was just like, you can't let that get to you. Because I mean, in my personal opinion, I feel as though like this new album aesthetically is on a whole nother level compared to the first album, which that's how it should be. It's always about progress and trying to move on to the next plateau.
Okay.
So
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, now I was just saying, the feeling of did I, do I stop or do I take a break? The thoughts kind of crept into my mind, and for a little bit, and it kind of fucked with me for a little bit, but I had to take a step back and say, you know what, you're doing what you can under the circumstances, and I feel that I did a good job at what I did. Um, Again, in my opinion, is one of the best bodies of work that I've ever done. So, and I plan on, doing better than that in the future.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you're gonna go the independent route.
Yeah, that's the plan. Well, I'm actually in the works of starting my own label, a little, small little independent joint. Me and my homies or whatever. So home base entertainment. That's on the way real soon. I'm in the works with my homie Quest, working on his EP, getting that together. Um, couple features here, a couple features there, production and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the plan right now. Is putting the homies on now. I'm on album number 2, so I could take a step back for a little bit, and like I said, make sure the crew is, what I'm saying, doing their thing, and that I could put more time and energy into that, as well as still promoting what I got going.
Okay. So a lot of people don't, they don't think 5 steps ahead. They kind of focus on, what they got in front of them. So do you have a backup plan or, a strategy as far as creating like, multiple houses while you tracing your dream?
I mean, I still work, I still got a regular job or what have you. So, that was just common sense to me. It was just, second nature. I would love to get to a point where I can focus solely on making music, but until that's my until that's my bread and butter, what I'm saying, in the sense where like I can survive off of just making music, what I'm saying, I'm still going, I still got to work a regular job. I still got bills to pay, what I'm saying, shit like that. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not much of a planner, what I'm saying. I don't like to plan shit, because when I plan shit, it don't it don't go the way I want it to. You know what I'm saying? So I try to just take it a day at a time. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like whatever happens, just happens.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a mentality I had, back in the day, but
Mhm.
we actually living in a time of uncertainty. Not to knock,
Yeah.
you know, your method to, the way you carrying yourself,
Yeah.
but
No, no, I feel you.
yeah, it's always good to, try to think at least 2 steps ahead when it comes to life because, depending on what type of job you have, if another pandemic happened, are you gonna be affected by that? Are you in a situation to where you could be deemed essential if you're gonna work with somebody else? And, if things get cut back, what else can you, go to or rely on outside
Right.
of government assistance or another helping hand. Because at the end of the day, for a lot of people like me and you, we what I'm saying, we don't really have like a backing or generation wealth to fall back on. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get it out the mud, just like the next person.
Feel that. I feel that 100%.
Yeah. So you said that you went to the Art Institute originally for film, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Was you trying to become like a videographer, or was just another skill set that you were trying to mesh with your artistry as far as music?
Man, I wanted to be the next Spike Lee. Be honest with you. Um, yeah, I would, cause I was, well, not was, I still am honestly a big fan of Spike Lee's his classic shit, School Days, Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues. You know what I'm saying? He just had a, especially Do the Right Thing, easily like my favorite Spike Lee movie. And I just went through this phase where like I started getting introduced to a lot of the like the classic quote unquote urban cinema or what have you. I hate that you word. I hate the word urban.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But that's when I really started getting, not that I haven't seen or wasn't, familiar with a lot of those, you know what I'm saying? But that's when I really started getting into the Boys in the Hoods and the Menace to Societies and stuff like that. Stuff that for better or for worse, reflect Black life. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that we all out here gang banging and shooting, doing drugs and selling drugs and motherfuckering everybody, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was just something that kind of caught my eye, and not even just not even just Black films. Like, easily one of my favorite movies ever is Forrest Gump.
Mm,
So
okay.
yeah, I just was really into to film for whatever reason. So I was like, okay, maybe that's something I could do, and I wanted to act as well. So,
Okay. So what about now? Like, have you worked on any projects, or is this something you really haven't touched in the past few years?
nah, nothing like that. Or at least not yet. One day eventually I want to go ahead and try my with the acting thing and all of that. I don't know if I'm comfortable or confident behind the camera, but I think I could come across well as an actor.
You ever thought about going to school for it?
Nah, 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 I'm not opposed to it, but to say if I really considered it or thought about it, nah, I haven't.
Well, I know that, acting classes or acting school helps a lot of entertainers, whether they be comedians or, thespians or whatever. It helps you with your stage presence and, helps
Hmm.
strengthen your skills as far as, being an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? That's
Hmm.
something you might want to consider, just for future references.
Definitely, yeah. I'm gonna take that into consideration, man. Serious.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What are you working on currently? I know you say you just finished your second album, but is there any type of project, anything that you're working on at the moment?
For myself, as of right now, nah. Like I said, I'm still producing for other artists. What I'm saying, still trying to build up my collective of artists. Um, getting them prepared and kind of showing them the ropes as far as performing and being on stage and recording and all of that. So right now I'm not really thinking of myself. It's more or less trying to reach back and put my people on.
Okay. So how many markets do you have your projects in?
So my albums are on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, Tidal. You know, I'm on shit that I never heard of. I got shit on Deezer. I said I never heard of Deezer. I saw that my shit was on like Napster. I'm like, ain't nobody used Napster since like 2002. So, you know what I'm saying? iHeart, Pandora, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's everywhere.
So that's what I'm saying. So did you take a look at your analytics and see like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
everywhere?
No. I always take a look at my analytics every so often. I should say. Maybe not
So
always.
how many different countries is your music in?
So far I'm just in the US. Um, I got to look at it again. I probably did reach overseas somewhere, but as of right now, off the top of my head, I know I'm in the US. I think I hit somewhere in like South America or some shit,
Hmm.
somewhere way out like that. But I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I would literally have to have it in my face.
Well, from my experience, independent artists that I know or know of, they always speak about the good responses they get once they put their music out overseas. Like it could even be like Japan or any place in Europe, the Baltics, something like that, because
Right.
you know, uh, hip hop culture is universal,
Definitely,
and rap, is international. So
definitely.
it does transcribe, overseas and with different countries and people. So that might be something you might want to look into, like see what you know what platforms they're streaming on over there and putting your music over there, because you never know what type of response you'll get from it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I give that advice to anybody who's, trying to put their music out there, because, just because, your hometown don't mess with it doesn't mean somebody in like Utah or
Right,
London or Australia might not, really rock with you. And that creates opportunities to like, put you in a place where you can actually go out there and perform. I don't know if you financially ready or you got things set up, but that's an opportunity you can
right.
capitalize on. And then
Yeah,
once you got your foot in the door in certain places, somebody might like the way, if you did, let's say you did a project all by yourself, they might not necessarily like the song, but they'll like the production on the song, or
right,
they'll just want the beat. You know what I'm saying? So having the multiple talents and having other people along with you, like you said, you want to put people on, you can do the same for yourself along with your, people by, creating those opportunities.
right. Mhm.
Okay. So, what has been one of the more difficult hurdles you had to overcome when it comes to making music or performing?
I mean, just getting in my own head sometimes. Because overthink a lot, and I try not to be aware of it. 'Cause sometimes, yeah, I do. Just trying to make this album. Like I went through a 3 month period where basically couldn't write, couldn't produce anything. I was just in a slump. Trying to figure out what's next. Trying to put something on paper, and you know, you go through those phases, and then you come out of it, and you feel like a fucking genius afterwards. So but yeah, that's been a big thing for me is I overthink a lot. Um and just the I guess to a certain degree the confidence, um you know which is crazy because music is kind of like where I come alive and where you really get to see that other side of me. um so yeah, it's just trying to like I said, just trying not to overthink, trying not to get in my head too much.
Okay, so overthinking, slow down progress in certain ways. Okay. So like does like your friends or do your brother when they see you get into that type of headspace, do they recognize it and try to coach you through it?
Uh, I can't say yes or no. Um, because I kind of just got to the point where like I know to like just give myself a break if I need to. Um, you know, overworking and then you couple that with overthinking, and trying to get to that, it's hard to it's hard to verbalize it, but I'm pretty sure you kind of get where I'm trying to go with this. But yeah, to answer your question, no, not yes or no. Just kind of like sometimes I go to an event and just say, I having trouble with this, that, and the third, and again, I recognize it and just say, you know what, maybe I just need to take a step back, try to find some inspiration or something. And when I get that vibe back, when I get that energy back, you know, all right, boom.
Okay. So how did you and Max meet?
Me and Max met at what was that at? Mix off Georgia Avenue. I was already familiar with Matty Ice already. We had met at Tacoma about a year before that. And they came up there to perform. They had this this one little record that was cool. So, so I kind of reached out to them, vice versa.
Okay. You guys work on any projects together yet?
Uh, I mean, I sent a few beats.
Okay.
That's about it as far as that goes.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. So I mean, with you in the heart of the DMV, so have you ever done any go-go projects?
It's funny because me and my classmate back in high school, we were on the drum line together,
Hmm.
and we were also very close with the music teacher at the school. Um, so we used to hang out like after school. You know, once the band was done and over with and all of that, we would hang out after school. There was a drum set in the closet with the marching drums, and my music teacher, he was a jazz pianist.
Hmm.
He had this Yamaha motif sitting sitting in front of the chalkboard, and so we would hang out after class and just jam out on the drums and on the keyboard, and we were like a little makeshift two-man band. But I mean, on a major level, nah. Um, I wanted to at one point in time, but that just didn't come to fruition for whatever reason.
Well, I don't hear a lot of projects outside of like the typical go-go band that's well known putting out their new stuff and performances like like what while they tried to do
Yeah,
switch it up and bring that DMV sound on a national on an international level, like
yeah,
what Chuck Brown did. Chuck Brown took it all the way to China. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So I would love to see that you know, that part of DC, blended in with like a full length movie project, not necessarily all about go go music, but to have it
Hmm.
intertwined within the whole series. Like, what's my man name? Crazy Legs that he
Okay.
took he took Beat Your Feet all the way to Poland. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Um, I
uh,
mean, hey, look, man, shit happens. I'm sitting around like, what the fuck?
oh man,
Real opportune and shit. Just real convenient.
I was about to say, do you have a pet elephant? What was that?
Nah. So it was a electric candle. Somebody was in there. Yeah, yeah, thank you, mom. Yeah, they in there cracking open cans. Shit. Yeah, no, it's all good. We we kid a lot in here. It's funny, man. If you see if you got to see the dynamic in here sometimes, man. We motherfuck and bullshit each other all day long, and it's out of love. But people come over and be like, y'all really talk to each other like this? Get that shit out of here, man. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but it's all out of love, man. It's never malicious, and it's never meant to disrespect or harm anybody. We just all just vulgar. We cuss a lot. You know, we smoke, we drink, and we cuss. That's it.
Hey, everybody got their own family dynamic,
Definitely, man.
to each his own at the end of the day. That's what's up. So you you in a position right now where, you could go, any direction. I see you got the Olden shirt on. You got some merchandise as
Yes,
well.
yes. Olden 327 says buy my damn merch. Yeah, so yeah, this was like the Stone Cold inspired, joint.
Okay.
Um, I got another one. Matter of fact, I'll pull it out for you. This was a lyric from the hook on my song "Oh No," looking like I just took your hoe. You know what I'm saying? You could get that one in all different kind of colors and shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get into the merch game now. I felt like being as though now I got the second album out, I thought it was more opportune now
Mhm.
as opposed to, trying to do it on the first album because I didn't really have nothing to go off of um in terms of recognition or nothing like that. So now that I sort of kind of have a fan base now, I was like, okay, I could try my hand with this. Um, I got another one I just put on my Teespring. It's a cool little joint. Me and my dog came up with this little phrase. If I ain't getting paid or laid, I can't fade. And I said, man, that shit need I said that shit need to be on the shirt. So I went ahead and made that happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. I'm gonna have to check out the Teespring, see what you got on there.
Hey, link in the bio, man. Go ahead and do that.
That's what's up. So, is there anybody that you really want to work with in the future? Like, artists, whether they be, known or unknown.
Oh man. You know, I I've been wanting to work with her.
Mm.
Kind of just because we kind of have like a similar background in terms of us both being musicians. I'm a keyboardist, and I dabbled a little bit in the drums. She's a, keyboardist, guitar player, songwriter, you know what I'm saying, great
Vocalist.
singer. Yes, yes, man. I got a little crush on her too, so that's part of it. Um,
Okay.
Dua Lipa, another like, phenomenal pop artist. Um, let's see. I mean, a lot of, it's so many people I could name, man. I'd be all day, talking about all the people that I want to work with. I want to work with Teddy Riley one day. Teddy Riley was like the genesis for me.
Oh.
Man, when I heard the second guy album, you know, like if you were to ask me like what was New Jack Swing in the 80s and 90s, I would tell you it was that second guy album. You know what I'm saying? Like it just set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Like the first album was dope, great album, but it's something about that sound when he got to that second album, you know what I mean? And the stuff he was doing with Mike on the Dangerous album, stuff like that, it was crazy. He was the guy that made me want to be a producer,
Okay.
you know. And music was something that just kind of came secondhand for me. Well, not secondhand, second nature. It just was like, what I'm saying. I sat in front of a piano one day and just, was playing chords and didn't even really know what I was doing. I just did it. So yeah, he was the guy that made me want to be a producer. So that's somebody I would love to work with. Him, uh, Rel, Timberland. Man, it's just a lot. That's a lot, man. It's a lot of guys. Excuse me, that I would want to work with. Um, I mean, far as like, it's guys in my crew that I still ain't work with. Me and Maul to this day ain't got a damn song yet. And the
Hmm.
nigga was supposed to send me a beat, and the beat got fucked up some kind of way. Maul, send me that fucking beat, man. Send me that fucking beat. I don't care how you got to do it, man. Make it happen. That's all I'm gonna say about that,
It's rare for me to talk to somebody who's in their 20s and they actually, listen to or aware of, the generation that I grew up on. Like,
man.
typically, the current generation doesn't really gravitate to the prior generation. Like they don't really, rock with anything that happened during that period. Like they heard of it, but that's not something they'll go back and, rewatch or revisit or, really even pay homage to. Like, what kills me is that, you could be in your 30s in 2021, but you can't rock with like Biggie or not necessarily it had to be like L Cool J, like
Right.
music from the 80s, like all that stuff was perfection for the era that it came out of. And a lot of people don't realize that, that's all they had. And look at what they made out of it. Look what they did.
Hmm.
Look what Too Short was doing back in the day with mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? People like that got it out the mud
Right.
and made, radio hits, and then everybody's like, if it ain't 4K or if they ain't rapping like Lil Uzi or whatever, then
Hmm.
they can't rock with it. I'm like, that's cool, to each his own, but
Right.
don't
Right.
forget to pay respect to your elders. Especially when it comes to people who cultivated the hip hop genre.
Well, you gotta look at it like this too. It's a generational thing. You know what I'm saying? The artists, or the people who grew up in the 70s and 80s may not appreciate the 50s and the 60s as much as they appreciate the current music. You know what I'm saying? When when you talk about the guys like the LL Cool J's and the Run DMCs and those guys, that rap wasn't even considered music back in those days. They thought it was a fad and it was just gonna it was gonna be here and there. And it was here today and gone tomorrow. And you look at it now and it's this international global. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers who can't speak English and say it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's a generational thing. The stuff that we grew up appreciating, the next generation is not going to appreciate as much. The kids who like whatever they're listening to in the next 10, 15, 20 years may not like Migos or Uzi as much as the current generation does. So it's always a shift. It's always I guess a changing of the guard or what have you. You know what I'm saying? We're always going to cling to, whatever it is we grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a certain type of memory and a certain type of emotion. You know what I'm saying? That is associated with whatever that song or that era is. Music is the soundtrack to our lives. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, our parents. or our parents before our grandparents, they might not appreciate Biggie Smalls as much as they appreciate a Teddy Pendergrass or the OJs. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So it's just a generational thing, and like you said, man, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on the Temptations just like I grew up on Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? So my musical influences, go all over the place. If you look on my phone, you'll see Jay-Z 1 minute, and then it'll be Fleetwood Mac the next minute. You know what I'm saying? Billy Joel, you know what I'm saying, and then go right into Jodeci, you know what I'm saying, and then from there to go to, you know, uh, just all over the place, man. I like all different kinds of music. You know what I'm saying? If I react to good music, you know what I'm saying. I don't really I don't get into eras and genres. You know what I'm saying.
Good music is good music.
Good music is good. I like Hall and Oates just as much as I like Boys to Men. You know.
I could respect that. Not everybody has that mindset. I consider, you know, rappers of this current new era. I say that came out within like I said the next to the last
Hmm.
7 years.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of entertainers.
it's a big disconnect. It's a
So
really big disconnect, man. And you know with youth, there's always going to be an air of rebellion. You know what I'm saying? Like when you was I'm trying to get my words together, man. I'm sorry. Um, when the Uzis and the Yachties was coming out, saying that they don't pay attention to the Tupacs and the Biggies. You know what I'm saying? That probably just wasn't what they were experiencing or influenced by or exposed to. You know what I'm saying? So when they go on like a Ebro in the morning or the Breakfast Club or whatever, and they say, freestyle to DJ Premier. Who was it that said they ain't want to freestyle to DJ Premier? I want to say it was Yachty or uh Young Thug or one of them niggas. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, how could you not want to freestyle to Primo? Like, you
well,
know what I mean?
like I said, these are rappers slash entertainers. For me,
These are artists,
no, no, no,
which
no, no,
is it's nothing wrong
no,
with that.
no, no,
But
no.
you see, I use the air quotes. You see,
So
I use the
so
air quotes.
I it if I make a slight video or whatever, or I
Hmm.
put something together, I could be considered an artist. You know what I'm saying? That's a subject or umbrella that these things fall under. Actors are artists, lesbians are artists.
Right,
What I'm saying, these are people who create
right.
something and with a rhythm or whatever, and it provides entertainment. What I'm saying is, when it comes to music,
Hmm.
in my opinion, there are entertainers,
Yeah,
there's rappers,
right,
and there's lyricists.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would consider uh, Migos entertainers.
Entertainers, yeah,
I would
agreed.
consider I would consider Young Jeezy a rapper.
Right.
I would consider Jadakiss a
A
lyricist.
lyricist, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
it's
I
it's
agree 100%.
you know what I'm saying? So it's levels to the shit. So when you expect the entertainer to perform the act of a lyricist, it's not going to transcribe.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? So it that's what I believe, that because they're comparing, these people are accessing the numbers as far as popularity, as far as wealth, as far as control in the rap game, that people that you admire like Biggie, Lil Wayne, uh, Big Crit, you know what I'm saying, Kendrick
hmm.
Lamar, J. Cole. These are
The guys who are
lyricists.
spitting.
Yeah, these are people that are true MCs that move the crowd. That
Hmm.
you listen to they track, you rewind it back so you can replay what they
Hmm.
just said, because you sometimes you don't catch it and you be like, wait a minute, what did he just say? The shit that you want to do over and over again because the shit was so fire. You can't expect somebody who's not about that life essentially
Right.
to do that, because what they
Right.
can do, they can make something catchy, and
Hmm.
they can make a trend out of it in their
Hmm.
own unique way. Now, I'm not against change,
Right.
but you got to know what you classifying into the into the just change that you're introducing. You know what I'm saying? The new era, new wave. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, and people can
And
confirm.
I think it's also important that we study what came before us. You know what I'm saying? And we pay our respects to the people who made the way. You got to understand, like, with this hip hop shit, people died, you know what I'm saying, for hip hop to be the international phenomenon that it is. And I ain't even talking about just, the Biggies and the Tupacs and whoever else. I'm talking about, what I'm saying, the people whose names we probably don't know and never heard of, you know what I'm saying, who got shot, stabbed, or beat up, you know what I'm saying, at a block party in Harlem, you know what I'm saying, and all they wanted to do was rock the mic that night, you know what I'm saying. So it's always important that we acknowledge what came before us.
Most definitely. I think once people, set aside their ego and
Hmm.
actually, study their history, they understand. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? People like Rakim, people like Busta Rhymes,
Yeah.
you know, like Mob Deep, all these people that
Right.
transcended what music was for their time and what their era, and they was all unique in their own way, and
Right.
they stood apart atop the pinnacle of what they were doing at their times, and just because right now I can't even say that rap is moving in a positive direction as far as talent, but as far as its
Agree.
growth, as far as its shift for people of color are getting what they deserve, even though it's
Oh, it's definitely it's peaking, you know what I'm saying, as far as that goes. But
I don't know.
uh,
I can't really say that it's peaking. I could say that it's moving in the upward tick that it's supposed to
yeah,
be. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, but
definitely.
a lot of people recognize that they don't need a major label behind
Right,
them to get to
right,
what they need to be. And
right,
it all comes from doing your research. That all comes from not just signing the first deal that gets in front of you.
right,
You know what I'm saying? It comes from actually. Uh, putting some work and effort into something besides one video or one track going viral or blowing up.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
don't just be a one trick pony when it comes to life, you know? So I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Everyone, has a choice to make. They either gonna do A, they're going to do B. Me
Hmm.
personally, I'm gonna look for as many options as possible and do what's best for me.
Definitely.
Yeah. But anyways, man, this has been dope, man. I appreciate you coming on by to the show, man. Ladies and gentlemen, MJ.
Peace and love, all of that.
Yeah, man. So why don't you let the people know where they can find you at?
And you can find me on Instagram at MJ Olden Official, Twitter MJ underscore Olden 94. Link in the bio on both pages. You can find the Teespring, the Apple Music, all of that on there. Um, the Cash App, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all of that's on there. But those are my two main pages.
Okay. You got a, YouTube channel?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is Matthew Olden. Or if you want to just, go straight to the music, you can just type in MJ Olden. Matthew Olden has all the music videos, other little interviews. uh, little shit that I did before I started really making music like that. So y'all can hear all them grimy, gritty, nasty sounding ass joints before, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, all of that's on there.
Okay, that's what's up. Get a little peek behind the curtain of who you were and who you're growing to
Yeah.
be.
You know what, it's crazy. There's a song on the first album that I did called You Got That, which I recycled from like 2016, and the original track is still on my YouTube. So you could hear the difference and the progression as far as the production and all of that behind it.
Okay, I'm going to check it out, man. I
Uh,
appreciate you for joining me today, man. It's been dope.
I'm glad to be here, man. Glad to be a part of it. You know, plan on coming back in the future, hopefully.
Yeah, we could
I'm
do
saying?
that most definitely. Give it a little while, and we could
Yeah,
reschedule another sit down, man. See where you at, see what you've been doing since the last time we met, and
yeah,
see what happens from there.
yeah. I'm always down to just shoot the shit. You know what I'm saying? Just shoot the breeze for a little bit, man. Chop it up or what have you.
That's a bet. I got you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Land of a Legend, aka Big T, and this has been another installment of the I Can't Make This Up podcast. That's I Can't with a K Make This Up podcast. You can find me everywhere you stream podcasts. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that share button and leave a comment and let me know what you like and what you didn't like. And don't forget to also support my guest, MJ Olden. I'll have links in the bio for all of his platforms. You can reach out to him, get that merch, listen to some tracks, share your thoughts and opinions on his artistry. But until next time, peace.
Peace.
I can't make this up. Being the wingman got me punched in the face by this crazy chick. I can't make this up. Gave this cool old man to ride home, now I'm harboring the fugitive. I can't make this up. Pinned between the fat chick and the speaker, now my shirt smell like her backside. I can't make this up. It's all bad cause my man about to get stabbed in his hand over french fries. Bet.
I'ma let T tell you that story one day, man. It's a good one.
And I'ma let the Landover legend do the rest. I'm out.